Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Huge 3-hour program lined up today. A lot of reaction to yesterday's action in the National Football League, week number 11. Monday Night Football preview multiple times today on the show. We'll get into week 12 numbers. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Real Fugazi, Nick Whalen on the program. Warren Sharp on the program as well. And if this casino is any indication of what it's going to be like today here downtown and spread out throughout the entire city of Las Vegas, it's going to be buzzing until the wee hours of the morning. I can't recall a Monday afternoon, now 1 o'clock out here Pacific time, Circa being this busy. And it's all Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
That and Pauly's buying beer for everybody.
You got that
so
right.
we got that going.
You got that right. Yep. Thanks to Winston. Yeah, we got 20 yards on the first drive, and that was it. Incredible. Spreading around to the tight ends. Good time. So come on down. But it's a fun game, and it's apropos that these two organizations are meeting. They become the factory of sadness. One organization hasn't made a title game in 30 years, and the other one hasn't won a playoff game since 2002 and only 2 trips in the last 23 years.
That's
so
right.
it's fitting that this was supposed to be a good game, but it's anything but.
Well, I think it's going to be entertaining.
Well, it should be.
It has a chance to be, just because any game that Dallas plays in theory, can be entertaining because the defense is so bad. But my God, the action, I think week 11 lived up to the hype with all those games yesterday. A couple of those were low scoring, but that's fine. And the Eagles did it again. And the Lions couldn't do much offensively. I mean, when Goff is going to throw, who's very accurate and having a great year, 14 of 37 passing in the game, and the Eagles did it again with their defense, and to go back-to-back to pitch A-plus games like that against the Lions and Green Bay, man, it's going to be depressing based on like my overall portfolio and futures when they come out of the NFC yet again this year.
Oh, come on.
Because I don't have anything on them.
No, they can't fix the offense. It's broken.
Paul, they're going to win every game 13-10.
No, they're not. You can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm blown away by the defense.
They won't beat Seattle. That team.
That might be true.
That defense is nasty.
I think Seattle, I'm higher on Seattle today than I was before the game kicked off yesterday.
As am I. For him to throw 4 picks and they should have won the game. Adams had 1 catch. They held Stafford in check. What a job by that team. Yeah. It's incredible the hole that Darnold put him in. And still JSN delivers with 100 yards. Here's what you're talking about, how great Week 11 was. Carolina, Chicago, Denver, Houston, and Miami all won on the final play of the game, tied an NFL record. Baltimore, Buffalo, Carolina, Denver, Chicago, Green Bay, and Miami all won after trailing in the fourth quarter, the most in 3 years. And then what happened with the marquee games. And you're right, it lived up to the hype and what happened Sunday night. It was a phenomenal week of action.
It was fast and furious, did not stop. And the amount of times that Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down last night, man, he likes to live on the edge. He takes a walk on the wild side. There you go. But that's right. One game when he took over the play calling last week, it was awesome. And, that's his decision-making, obviously, by going for it every single time. You don't have to, pal. Maybe it's not your night to go for it and run those plays. The
3 points. By the way, points would be big, too, at some point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, by the way, after watching Philadelphia really sniff out that fake punt last night, hey, pal, I love you, Dan Campbell. The jury's out. You can't do the fake punts anymore. You're not catching anybody off guard. You've done it too many times, and now people are expecting you to do it whenever it's like 4th and short, and you're going to go back to punt. No, you're not. We know what's going to happen here, and so does the opposing team. But that was still up in the air late, despite that team only scoring 9 points.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't have been. I mean, it was. I just can't get this fixed, and you can't get Barkley going. You finally got Brown involved. The horrific call that ended the game on that PI. That's a top 5 worst call I've ever seen.
No doubt.
But like Collinsworth said, there's just so much heat, and Goff can't complete his motion and can't complete his follow-through. He was always getting hit.
Sure.
Incredible job what they did. And just the pressure and what the acquisition of Phillips, how Howie Roseman always makes the right move. And you're right. Now with Fangio and this defense cooking, now how can they be this number against Dallas? Dallas coming off travel, Monday night game. You figure they can get the offense right in this one. You can't move the ball on this team. How can this line be so low? I talked to a couple Cowboys fans, our guys in Dallas, and they're stunned at the line. I mean, it's 4.5, 4 in this game.
Does the week 1 performance in Philly have anything to do with it?
Some people mention that, but then who
Dallas
cares?
should have won the game.
Yeah, who cares?
No, it's all about full resume today, right?
Yeah.
Then one game going all the way back to the beginning of September.
It's a whole different ball game with this defense.
I know.
How they embarrass Green Bay and how they lock down the Lions.
Honestly, so they are the number 1 seed right now. The Lions are out of the playoffs as we speak.
Correct.
So if the teams have to go through Philadelphia and they get the 1 seed and the bye, how many teams in the NFC can you feel confident in right now making the case, you know what, I think that they can do it, I'm going to put a future bet on them? I don't know if anybody can. Maybe the Rams can.
Rams are the most complete team in the league.
Yeah.
Yep. Now with the thicker
maybe.
kicker, they got a nasty defense too. And the Rams outplayed Philly for 3 quarters in that first game.
Yeah, maybe they could do that again and then complete the deal.
Well, the whole thing's wide open. I mean, this is great. The AFC, you still...
I laughed at the AFC odds today when I was looking at everything.
Buffalo's the favorite at FanDuel.
Yeah.
Buffalo's not even good. They've allowed 17 rushing touchdowns, and your boy, nice call yesterday on a pregame show, on the tailgate show. What, Tucker had 147 yards before contact or something stupid?
Yep.
I mean, they can't stop a damn thing on the ground. You can't make them. They don't even have a home field.
No.
You can't make them the favorite to win the AFC.
They're not coming out of the AFC. But then again, like how many of these teams overall, the NFC is just, maybe we should just be betting NFC to win the Super Bowl right now.
Oh, that's a great call. Right? Jordan Scott reached out and said that yesterday. I'm picking up what you guys are putting down.
I believe.
That looks like a great bet.
I think before action yesterday, several books had the AFC posted as a 1-point favorite. I would take.
Oh, come on.
I take over any of these teams in the AFC, right? Give me Philly, give me the Rams, give me Seattle, and then you give me Detroit for the most part. And they're not even in again, like I said. Look at this though, but Kansas City right now, they are the 9 seed. They're plus 550. Baltimore's the 10 seed. They're 6-1.
Yeah, I know.
Pittsburgh's the 4 seed. They're 50. The Chargers are 20, and Jacksonville's 25-1, and they're all in.
Yeah. Pure madness.
Yeah.
Still no respect for the top 3 seeds. Patriots, Colts, and definitely the Broncos, which the whole world, and myself included, picking against them. And that defense is also the real deal, and they're all over Mahomes. But Mahomes has been below average, and now it's a huge game against the Colts. The one-score games are not going their way. 12-0 last year, including the playoffs. 0-5 this year.
Yep.
But also the Baltimore love. I still would take them if you tell me tomorrow they're playing the Patriots on the road and it's pick 'em. I'm taking Baltimore, and I would probably lay points. But Lamar Jackson's got to get. He continues to throw interceptions.
Yeah.
The defense bailed them out. They were awesome in that win yesterday. So Baltimore's still winning, but it's the but. Pittsburgh's got a ton of issues. The Chargers are cooked. They can't protect Herbert. That was a debacle. I don't know what you're going to get from Jacksonville. Houston could be good if they get in, but I don't think that's going to happen. Bills can't stop anything. Allen's got to be Superman, as I've been saying since week 1, and it goes back to the top 3. No one's buying the top 3 seats.
I mean, most of these teams, we say it all the time, right? It's a week-to-week league.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's that you can make the case, and you just stand right there for a handful. You can keep going, by the way, and add a bunch of more teams that are not currently in the playoff picture. You don't know what you're going to get on a weekly basis from these teams. You have no idea. If yesterday was week 1, do you know what we'd be saying about Jacksonville and the Chargers? Mm-hmm. I mean, if we only had one sample or one data point to go on, we'd be like, oh my God, Jacksonville is legit this year. They're going to win their division. The Chargers are going to lose 12 games.
Yeah.
LA had 135 yards.
Yeah.
They were a 3-point favorite in the game.
I'll give you but if the 49ers were ever to get healthy on defense, it's not going to happen. But if the 49ers could get these guys back, they'd be right there in the mix.
They'll be scary.
I'll tell you what's hilarious is the Bears are leading their division, the luckiest team in the world, but they'll take it. The Bears are still like $1.10 to make the playoffs. That shows you, number 1, how no one's buying them. The odds makers, and number 2, how difficult the schedule is coming up. But 7-3 and you're $1.10 to make the playoffs? Come on.
I know it.
It's unheard of.
And leading that division overall. Now, tell me I'm completely overreacting here. And I've said this for the last 2 weeks, and I finally bet him before the games this past weekend. But Ben Johnson was out there between 30 and 35 to 1 to win Coach of the Year.
Uh-huh.
So I grabbed a number. It was like 33 or 35, something like that. I have to go back and check. If they win that division, the NFC North, compared to what that team looked like last year,
I'm on your side, but it's not going to happen.
he's not going to be able to overcome the two guys in the AFC?
You can't overcome Vrabel and Steichen. Vrabel's $1.10 now. Patriots probably the worst case 2 seed with their easy schedule. If Steichen beats the Chiefs...
I want to know how many other coaches in the league could have done what Vrabel's doing in New England with that schedule. I would say a lot. And I don't know how many guys could have done this in Chicago.
Well, the comeback is they were a dumpster fire last year, too.
Well, they absolutely were. But again, easiest schedule in the league with a bullet.
Good, and a good quarterback. Well, he's down to 9-1. I mean, it's not like there hasn't been movement. He's getting,
I know
he's
that.
getting respect. But I think it's also the incredible way they have this Houdini act, what they're doing. Now, yesterday was different. They blew that game. That's all.
No question.
Santos misses. You can't blow a 16-3 lead against god-awful McCarthy. You can't do that. But then they got bailed out by the lucky kickoff return. But they should have put that thing away. But it's a big test Sunday. It's a huge test. You beat the Steelers. When you're 8-3, you should be able to get to the playoffs on accident at that point.
I know it. And I like them this weekend.
I like them if it's Rodgers. I like the Steelers if it's Rudolph.
I like the Bears either way.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a short number in my opinion.
It went up. And I got to change my mind on the Patriot game. Like 7 against Cincinnati. It's just...
Oh, the defense.
I mean, come on. The stuff to Gainwell. It's 13-9. You're right in this game. Flacco throws the pick 6, but then just Rudolph comes in. He's just checking it down and throwing dump-offs to Gainwell, and there's nobody there, and no one can tackle him.
Yeah, so to your point, Aaron Schatz, formerly of Football Outsiders, now of FTN Fantasy, he tweeted this out earlier today. He's the guy who came up with DVOA. Through 10 games, the Cincinnati Bengals defense is the worst in the history of DVOA.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Man.
Up next, a look at Monday Night Football between the Cowboys and the Raiders, and more Week 11 reaction. And I don't think it's time to panic yet, but if they lose in Week 12, then all bets are off.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices. We'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll get to Monday Night Football out here in Las Vegas coming up in a few moments. Let me expand, by the way, on the Seattle game against the Rams quickly. Yards in the game. Seahawks 414 to 249. Time of possession, they almost had the ball for 38 minutes. First downs 26 to 12. Punts, Seattle 2, Rams 6. But then Darnold was just, I mean, those were high school mistakes that he was making out there.
1 for 4 in the red zone also.
Yeah.
And if that punt isn't downed inside the 5, they still win the game. It's going to be a shorter field goal.
I was betting them live a lot in the fourth quarter. Highest number I got was a little bit higher than 5-1. I thought they were going to go right down the field, and they did. And you're right. If that didn't get pinned at the 1, I think they absolutely win the game. But I had confidence in Myers making that thing.
Yeah.
And no chance.
Yeah. Sean McVay continues to be an absolute disaster, 3rd and 1. It's terrible.
I know it.
No one throws the ball more on 3rd and 1 than this guy, and it never works.
He wants to be in 3rd and 1 so he can throw the ball, trying to prove a point.
Yeah. Awesome job by the Seattle defense. Tough one. But that's the case where it's when he plays good teams, he vomits on himself. You saw 4 turnovers against Houston. You saw the 4 picks yesterday.
Yep.
Seattle leads the league in turnovers. The comeback is take care of the ball, you can go to the Super Bowl. And just get JSN involved, and Shaheed still nothing.
Yeah, right.
With 2 games now in Seattle. But with the rushing attack, that should be good enough. Don't turn it over. Defense is filthy.
Good running
good
backs.
Special teams.
That's fine.
Right. But it's just take care of the ball. And Sal Pal was all over it on Wednesday. That's now the most turnovers in the league by the Seahawks.
Now, I will say at this point, I'm not panicking about the Chiefs, but if they lose this weekend to the Colts, that's what we're talking about, man. All bets are off.
Yeah, they're up against it because it's one thing to be out of the playoffs, but you're 500. You got a tough team coming to town, and the Chargers, Bills, and Jags all beat you.
Right.
You're going to lose the tiebreakers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's wins coming. That schedule there's a lot of easy games coming up, or winnable games, I'll say that. But Mahomes has been bad. That interception's unacceptable, and it's a tough way for them to lose. But this is what happens. The breaks are not going their way this year.
Nope.
Everything went their way, and now you look up and you're 5-5. Now, everyone's still going to pick them if they get in. Now, it's going to be unique that they're going to have to do it on the road for all these. Mm-hmm. But remember what happened last time when they went to Baltimore and won the AFC title game, and this coaching staff is so good. But it's strange to see Mahomes struggle like this and turn the ball over, and those deep shots, he got one of them. You know, again, you're the better Moss out of the cornerbacks. The kid for Denver gets penalized every other play.
I know he does, but also I have to say, can we let these teams play once in a while?
It's still an egregious penalty. Hand fighting,
I know.
Underthrown, whatever, 50-yard penalty. But he hit the one to Thornton. But other than that, those deep shots are not connecting. And if you make them go dink and dunk, they haven't been able to do it. And it's still with all those weapons. It's a surprise to see what's happened here with this record. But again, full marks to Bo Nix, full marks to that defense. They were all over them. They did an incredible job.
Let me give you this. Mike Sando, who has covered the NFL for a long time, had a couple of outstanding tweets on the Chiefs this year compared to last year. So they're averaging more points per game this year. They're allowing fewer points per game than they did last year. Their average margin of victory is 7.3 this year compared to 4.9. They have a higher EPA per play on average on offense. They have a better defensive EPA per play allowed. They're +3 in their turnover margin. They were -5 at this point last year, but yet they were 9-1 a year ago, and now they're 5-5. Every number is better this year, with the exception of winning the one-score games. They had so much nonsense go their way last year.
And the extra point blocked, all that stuff.
Sure.
Stuff like that, yes.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. So the other thing is the futures market. Because still you're not buying into Denver, and you don't buy the Colts, and you think the Bills are still good. New England's only $2.40 to win the division. Denver's only $3 to win the division.
Right.
I mean, there's so many easy games for the Broncos coming up, which the comeback is they play down to their competition.
Yeah, and
play up to their competition. But that's going to be your one seed. To me, Denver or New England, based on how many easy games they have coming up.
I know this. I mean, again, I have a lot of questions about the Broncos offense with Bo Nix as quarterback. But, man, that defense is going to keep them in almost every single game. They are so good. Mm-hmm. I'm blown away. Now, Myles Garrett is all-time good.
Yes,
so he is probably going to run away, and he is right now Defensive Player of the Year. But Benito is like a tick behind him.
Yeah.
He just swarms the quarterback the entire game. He's so fast out there.
Yep.
All right, as for tonight's game, how about this? Dak Prescott is a favorite in prime time since 2020. 12-1 straight up, 6-0 straight up on the road.
Beautiful. Yep. I got him in the contest. I
you
like
do?
them.
Okay.
I think they win. I did get involved with the props. You can read my kicking props every week with a good Hemingway quote, vsin.com. Both teams 33-yard field goal, and, of course, Dallas, longest-made field goal. But also, this is a game where, again, it should be an aerial circus, and you figure there's points. There's some good stuff here when you look at the props. Like, if you're expecting a high-scoring game, and why not? Both teams touchdown field goal each half, 10-1. And then you get into some of the stuff with the player specials, like Genty and Williams, 10 yards each quarter, 19-1. If these wide receivers go off, if Bowers goes off, Genty, 20 yards each quarter, 22-1, 10 yards each quarter, plus 350. These are historically bad defenses,
right,
especially with Dallas. So, yes, you made some moves and made some trades, but everyone's been able to move the ball on them here. So I would think you could be in for a lot of points and a lot of yards here, and maybe some big tickets can cash.
I think so. 49 feels a little bit low here. I do believe the Raiders are going to be able to maybe not match Dallas touchdown for touchdown, but they're going to be able to put some points in this game. And I think 49, like 28-24, that's doable to be in that range.
Yeah.
And I'll give you this. Stormy on Money Moves had a great CeeDee Lamb nugget on the show. 12 straight games going back to last season where his longest reception in the game with Dak Prescott went over 26.5 yards. He left the game early this year, so it didn't go over. But every other time going back to last year, 12 straight longest reception over. It's a winner going back a good year and a half now with him because he missed some time this year, obviously. And 25.5 was out there. Some books still might have 25.5, but if you think about getting down on something like that, definitely shop around as always. But I would also think that Pickens is going to be able to have a nice game tonight.
Yeah, I like Trey Tucker. I think he's low. There was a good article up on the website about him from, I believe it was Mr. Cohen. But I'm not going to put you off on anything. If you want to throw props at me and what could happen, especially with the tight ends and the damage they could do here, it's also a great game for a player to score the first touchdown. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a backup tight end or you see there's a cast of thousands for Dallas, what they could do as well, maybe with some creativity. Lupke's got in there before. Maybe some other guys, maybe a Turpin at 30-1. So I think a lot of people can eat in this game.
Okay, so we debuted a new segment on the Tailgate Show yesterday, calling it Get Nuts and Have Some Guts, right? Now,
Tucker.
Well, Sean Tucker had 2 touchdowns.
Good job.
And the amount of players who had 2 touchdowns yesterday that were long shots were off the charts, right? But something that we did not bring up before the game in Madrid to tie it into that segment, no touchdown scored in the first half. That happens so many times in these primetime games. You want to get absolutely nuts tonight? No touchdown in the first half.
No.
Just a bunch of turnovers, field goals.
No way.
Huge number, Pauly.
Can't do it.
Got to think outside the box once in a while.
No, well, not with this. Not with these 2 teams. No way. Can't do it.
If I gave you 400-1 on that, would you take it?
Yeah, I'll take 400-1.
Okay.
That's
because I think the no touchdown scored for the full game is like 500-1 at some books.
I believe it.
Right?
Oh, how about field goal each quarter?
Is that just one, or is that
one
both?
made field goal each quarter, 5-1?
Again, I'm really concerned about the overall stops.
Yeah, like Jacksonville, like if they had Cam Little stuff,
right?
Every time they get that, they score. Not one time there, and then they had 4th and 1, and they went for it. But that's not bad with these kickers too. Now, and how friendly that has been to kickers throughout the Death Star.
They were showing the graphic moments ago of the betting splits, which you can get at vsin.com, by the way. We post them from DraftKings and also Circa. Are you concerned at all about having Dallas in pocket for the contest when you look at these numbers? At Circa, 82% of the bets on the Cowboys, 91% of the handle. And at DraftKings, 80% of the bets, 67% of the handle on Dallas.
Yeah, we just saw this.
Yes, we did.
Everyone was on Dallas. Arizona punked them.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
So there is that. And again, I think the Dallas influence here at Circa is massive, though. Isn't the ticket in Dallas doing a show from the Stadium Swim as we speak?
Yes.
The whole okay, yeah.
They got a big following.
So they probably brought a ton of people here from
the hard line is out there.
Okay.
Those guys.
So I'm guessing that they have a huge group of people following them today, and they're all just firing on the Cowboys left and right.
Yep. By mid-season, the lines get sharper and every edge matters. That's where VSiN Pro comes in, giving you the insights and data to stay one step ahead every week, every best bet, every host, every guest, the AI-powered prop tools, the 24/7 video and replays, the new college basketball betting guide. Start betting smarter today, just $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. VSiN.com/subscribe. The NBA props, ton of guys on fire. NFL props, check it out. Join the team. Great gift. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Raiders only scored 7 points last week. How about this? Cowboys games are 8-0 to the over since January 2024 when taking on a team that scored less than 20 points in their last game. Nick Whalen's thoughts and best bets for tonight's game coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time for some best bets tonight. Monday Night Football, sprinkle in maybe a little NBA action as well. Nick Whalen joins the program, rotowire.com, and he is on the progressive guest line. Nick, congratulations. You and your wife welcomed a baby daughter to the world last Tuesday, man. That is absolutely outstanding.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. This is, I don't know if I can use this term, I guess postpartum, my first VSiN hit since becoming a father. So really excited to get back on the air. It's obviously been, a whirlwind last week for me and my wife, Molly, but we were incredibly, incredibly happy to welcome Loretta, Lottie, and Whalen into the world.
Oh, very nice.
Good job.
There you go. Great. And wearing a Byron Leftwich jersey as well. I like it.
Yeah, Jags are 1-0 in her career. We do live here in Wisconsin. I haven't decided yet. Am I going to raise her a Jaguars fan? Do I let her, kind of choose her own path? There is kind of a generational trauma element that I want to avoid. I don't want to subject her to what I've been through as a Jaguars fan. So, maybe when she's old enough, we'll send her down the Packers road. But both teams now 1-0 lifetime, and doing what I can, guys. I'm not super athletic. My wife is not super athletic. I'm trying to at least make sure she's interested in sports. So, showed her some of the basics over the weekend. John Wall high school highlights, Fred Taylor highlights, Ron Dane highlights. So we're trying to knock off some important things early on.
There you go. Good introduction into the world here. So now, how did Week 11 go for you? And did you have Jacksonville? Because my goodness, they absolutely spanked the Bolts.
I absolutely did not have Jacksonville, guys. In fact, I thought this would actually be a solid spot for the Chargers. I thought this number could have been a little bit higher. The Chargers have kind of been this Jekyll and Hyde team at times this season, but they had strung together 3 pretty good games in a row. Thought the defense had really come around. And, Jacksonville, of course, was coming off of that just complete collapse against Houston last week. And, Jacksonville to me is a team that historically has been tough to trust in those situations. They can string together wins. When things are going well, they can continue to go well. They're not a team that when they face adversity historically has responded very well in those situations. But I thought this was pretty easily the Jags' best game of the season, best game of the Liam Cohen era, and one of the best defensive games overall that we've seen from any team this season, holding the Chargers to 3 yards per play. I guess in retrospect, I'm not necessarily shocked that Jacksonville won this game at home. Tony Baselli, their essentially kind of assistant GM, said this week that it was the biggest game in Jaguars history. That raised my eyebrows a little bit. I figured, they would bring it this week, but certainly did not seeing it being this kind of result, 35-6.
They've been in 2 AFC title games. That's a wild comment.
I know. I thought so too. I'm like, really? This is the biggest game in history?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what do you think tonight? Can you make the case for the Raiders?
You could. And I think mostly that lies in the concerns with the Dallas Cowboys defense. But I'm on Dallas tonight, guys. I know they look terrible against Arizona before the bye. They've lost 2 in a row where that offense just really hasn't looked like it did earlier this season. But I'm high on some of these pieces that they brought in defensively. The defense overall has just been a disaster. But this is also probably the worst offense that they faced all season. You got a Raiders team that's 30th in success rate. They're dead last in EPA per rush. I think they will have a difficult time running on this Cowboys team. Now you got Quinnen Williams alongside Kenny Clark in the middle. Logan Wilson is an upgrade at linebacker. And the other thing, guys, is Dallas is as healthy as it's been in a long time. You still got Trayvon Diggs on IR, but a lot of the pieces in the secondary are back. The offensive line is healthy. This should be the healthiest CeeDee Lamb has been since week 2 or week 3. And I know that Raiders defense, looked okay. Looked pretty good, I should say, against Denver last week. Who knows with the Denver Broncos, guys? We've seen the Broncos play these games. They had a similar game overseas against the Jets, right? I don't know if that's a huge mark in favor of the Raiders. On balance, anytime they faced an above average quarterback like Dak Prescott, they've really struggled. Gave up 400 yards to Washington, 434 to Kansas City in 3 quarters, over 350 to the Jags a couple of weeks ago. The Colts, of course, put 40 points on them in the second and third quarters alone. So I'm willing to buy low on the Cowboys here, even after a couple bad games.
Okay. In terms of player props then tonight, how do you want to attack it? There are a lot of juicy players to maybe consider here in this spot.
There are. And on the Dallas side, I like CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 receptions. Don't mind the yardage. It's a little elevated at 87.5, but I lean on the receptions here. The Raiders' run defense has actually been pretty respectable this season, right about middle of the pack. The pass defense has been much more of the liability, and they've actually been pretty good slowing down tight ends. Very, very bad, though, against wide receivers. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, obviously still kind of working back from that injury the last few weeks, but he's gone over this number in 2 straight games, 4 or 5 full healthy games this season. And even when the Cowboys are struggling, if I'm wrong tonight and this is another disaster game for the Cowboys offense, CeeDee Lamb still finds his way to get numbers, 7 for 74 against Denver, 7 for 85 against Arizona, 22 combined targets in those games. So that's what I like on the Dallas side, guys. And then I got a couple more on the Vegas side as well.
Is it Brock Bowers by chance?
It's not, because I think the market's a little juiced on Brock Bowers. So we've seen one incredible game and then one kind of disappearing act from Bowers since he came back from the injury. I'm just not really sure how it's going to go tonight. The Dallas defense actually rates out pretty well against tight ends as well, but obviously, they kind of use Bowers as a wide receiver. So I'm just washing my hands of that one. I am looking at Tyler Lockett, guys, over 27.5 receiving yards. I don't know why Tyler Lockett is the featured option. I know, you really have nothing else in that wide receiver room, but he's coming off 6 targets last week against Denver. That was a team high. Like I said, Dallas has been pretty good against tight ends, about league average, but really, really struggling against wide receivers. Last in yards per target, 3rd highest catch rate allowed in the NFL to wide receivers. They've given up 16 receiving touchdowns to wide receivers alone this season. So by default, guys, Tyler Lockett, I think, is kind of that number 1 target right now for Geno Smith. And then I would look at Ashton Genty over 19.5 receiving yards. Taking a bit of a shot here. He's only hit this twice this season, but Dallas has had some trouble defending running backs as receivers. Through 9 games, guys, 10 different running backs have already gone over this number against that Dallas defense.
Wow. Okay, very good. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Nick Whalen, rotowire.com, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. I think it's an intriguing card tonight in the NBA. I have at least one bet so far. Who do you like? Are we talking player props here tonight? Side, total? How did you attack it, Nick?
Yeah, we'll start with the player prop here, and we have a really interesting rematch in the Eastern Conference between the Knicks and the Heat. They played over the weekend, so both teams coming into this game well rested. I'm looking at Josh Hart over 15.5 rebounds plus assists. No OG Anunoby, no Jalen Brunson, of course, tonight for the Knicks. And this isn't as simple as, Josh Hart had a triple-double, on Friday against this same Heat team. That's, of course, part of it. We're still working with a small sample early in the season, but when you dig in on some of the on-off numbers for the New York Knicks, you take Anunoby, you take Brunson off the floor, Josh Hart averages about 2 more rebounds, almost 3 more assists per 36 minutes with those 2 other starters off the court. So I think what we saw in that last game against Miami should continue, should be a high-minute night in what should be a competitive game. I think what are the Heat are 2.5-point favorites, down to 1.5 actually right now at DraftKings. So looking at Josh Hart there. And then, guys, I hate to pile on the New Orleans Pelicans, who have just been the punching bag of the NBA so far this season. I'm going under 103.5 team total tonight against OKC. They're 17.5-point dogs. OKC comes into this game rested. It's the second night of a back-to-back for New Orleans. Maybe they get Zion Williamson back. Even if that's the case, he's going to be limited. No Jordan Poole. I think this is just a disastrous spot for the Pelicans against an Oklahoma City team that no matter who's out there, that defense travels so well.
Oh, no question. Nick, great stuff. Best of luck tonight. And again, congratulations on welcoming a baby daughter with your wife last Tuesday, man. That's awesome.
Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yep. There you go. Nick Whalen. He was on the Progressive Guest Line.
Up on VSiN.com today, the Mackinnon numbers. OKC's covered 13 in a row against the Pelicans.
Oh, God.
I think that's nuts.
They could win the game by 40 tonight if they wanted to. Also, one observation about OKC, they come out of the gates a little slow once in a while. But as you have said, Pauly, the run is coming. The angle might be to bet them in the third quarter after halftime. That's when they just say, okay, enough's enough. Here come the afterburners, and you're not going to keep up with us.
Longest winning streak, OKC plus $1.35. You're tying up your money for a while, but that's...
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. The only team that would hurt me there is Denver. Because I don't still think that's going to happen. This team's so good and the schedule's so easy. It's like if I bank a 12-game winning streak, okay, I'll take my chances.
Right.
Good luck. They certainly will do that. I mean, we're talking about everyone's talking about 70 wins now.
Yeah,
and it's even up. Will they break the record? Sorry.
VSiN host Will Hill actually has a nice bet. Did it last week. He bet that prop up. Will they win 74 plus games and break the all-time record? He's got a healthy bet on that. And he got a decent number. He did an odds boost on it to get a good number.
Oh, big one.
But the problem is like trying to figure out the player props. Like I want to attack it with a guy like Isaiah Joe, but this game to me would have been the perfect Aaron Wiggins game. Like I would have laddered him points. I would have laddered him 3, but he's out of the game, not playing in the spot. So also when you're betting props, it's paramount to find out like overall the impact of these guys. Like when Giannis doesn't play, I don't want anything to do with AJ Green threes, but Giannis is probable for the game tonight, so I want AJ Green threes to go over, and it's a plus price at 2.5, and the guy's been, I think he's had, 10 winners and 2 losers so far in the year with his prop? Win some, lose some is coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
Pauly's going to give you a stat from the NHL that's going to blow your mind here on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Oh, man. Huge tickets cashed yesterday. Huge. Highest scoring game, Bills-Bucks 6-1. Most points, Bills 10-1. What a performance by Allen. Quarterbacks to have 3 rushing, 3 passing, Allen and Otto Graham in NFL history. Lowest scoring game, my fault, it was Sunday night, 20-1. Could have been a lot higher than that, depends where you shop. But that was wild that those two teams get together and they put that score up, although the win was a problem.
Can I say I love watching a good under game?
Yeah, that was fun. Another in-play dream with the Eagles. Fewest points, Chargers, 25-1. 6 lousy points. Most passing yards, Brissett, 20-1. Set the NFL record for completions, 47-57, for almost 500 yards in the loss. At FanDuel, 350 yards, he was 11-1. And Mitch called this yesterday. DraftKings doesn't do the early games. Most rushing yards, Tucker 50-1. 104 yards holds up.
Got it done. I never thought of doing the yards combo with the touchdowns. I only bet the touchdowns there. But the same game parlays that came in on him to go for more than 100 yards plus 2 or 3 touchdowns. Oh
man.
Boy.
Most receiving yards, I didn't see a price. It was Wilson with Arizona, who had almost 200 yards.
Every time I looked up, here's another 20-yard completion to the guy.
Wow. Got to keep an eye on him moving forward. Chiefs first quarter unders, 9-1 this year. Josh Whalen, anytime, 14-1. Tucker, 2 touchdowns, 20-1. 3? Didn't see it. Gainwell, 2 touchdowns, 25-1. Allen, 3 touchdowns, 25-1. CMC, 3 touchdowns, 10-1. First score of the early game, Steelers 8-1. Texas A&M in play, 8-1. How about that lunatic cop who was sent home throwing a forearm shiver at 2 South Carolina players because they walked back into the tunnel and the guy was hurt?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much here because I don't want to talk out of turn, but a guy like that should probably never be working anything ever again.
There is nothing wrong with that statement. Imagine he pulls you over doing
no,
75 and a 50. Navy plus 260 on a money line. They could make the playoff now. Sam Houston plus 380. Boomer! Oklahoma 2-1 on the money line. They're going to the playoff, I believe.
Yes.
That was a good price before the season. Here's what Mitch teased. NHL, thanks to Jonathan Davis, you are up 14 units on Friday if you bet every game to go to overtime. On the season, tie in regulation, you're up 51 units in the NHL.
And I will say JD has been tracking this now for quite a while this year.
Yes, he has. He's been betting it in every game when you look at his write-ups, vsin.com, plus 51 units. Vancouver's played 9 overs in a row as well. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com, our radio and podcast friends. You've been doing an excellent job. Keep them coming. Thanks to our guy, McGillicuddy, who hit another bomb. We'll show that coming up. Incoming! Look at this guy coming in right out from the house onto the porch and into the leaves, and it's just a highlight reel right back in there. And 'tis the season, right? It's that time of year.
Well, it's
Here
the same dog that we've seen over and over.
Yeah, right.
I love the compilation video here.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Oh, they've tracked it over 5 years now? Oh, yeah, here you go.
Good.
Yeah, all
Good.
right.
Out of the car, right back in, right? He was a little guy growing up on the steps. There it is. Halloween, love going in the leaves. That's awesome. He must have been the guy who was like, find a dog, and he's stuck in the middle of it there. That's excellent. Very good. Highlight reel. Packers, Giants, under 45 down to 42, no good. TCU from 6 down to 2.5. Not aware that Stormy was on the sidelines with the BYU angle.
Yeah.
Tennessee, New Mexico State over, 53.5 up to 60.5, no good. Texas from 6 down to 3.5. Routed in that game.
Can we please say that's enough now?
No, it's part of my ugly coming
Okay,
up.
all right.
We'll get into it coming up. One lose some. He didn't expect this to go his way. The dog sneaks into the garage. He starts barking at the cat, right? Oh, I didn't know he had help. Here they come. Oh, you want to start a little trouble? Oh, okay. That's it.
No, I'm good.
He just lays down. He taps out. I don't want any trouble, okay? He gets in the cat's face, barks at her. Hey, you want a problem? You want a piece of me, right? And then all the friends come in. Look at us, like 8 of them.
That's like a dozen cats right there.
And he goes, oh, sorry, I'm outnumbered. That's it. I surrender. Bad for the books. Ravens, Browns under, 41.5 down to 38.5. Lance, 39. Titans, 7.5 down to 5. Jacksonville State, Kennesaw over. 51.5 up to 56.5. The Irish from 10 up to 13.5, buried Pitt. Florida State 11.5 up to 14.5. Marshall 6.5 up to 10.5. K-State, Oklahoma State under 54.5 down to 50. Easy sweat. No sweat, easy time of it there. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. Look for the plays and props tonight, Monday Night Football. And the Mr. Poison tweets, the AI selection's up over 50 units. Powered by Advanced AI. Trusted sources, great sources. Been at it since 2011. Jeff and the crew do a great job. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. Sharpplays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the book. Sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line. Breaking news, what do you have?
Jamar Chase has been suspended one game for spitting on Steelers safety Jalen Ramsey yesterday. That's breaking as of about 15 minutes ago. As of a couple of minutes ago, Jamar Chase is going to appeal his one-game suspension. So
what?
Why would you appeal?
He lied.
Of course he did.
It's all on video.
But also, what are you doing with the season? It ties into why would Joe Burrow want to come back and play?
Yeah, come on. If they lose this game, that's just stupid.
Oh, and by the way,
there's no reason to just do it. It's like the same.
Based on this news, every book has moved the Patriots. Now, we're going to do Week 12 numbers coming up, but we got to get to this because of the breaking news. FanDuel now has New England 7.5. DraftKings has 8.5. There are multiple 9.5s on the screen right now.
Wow.
I don't think this can't get to 10.
Higgins. Got Higgins, and that's it. Oh, man. Going against a good defense, well-coached team.
And remember...
Henderson's going to eat. I mean, the dump-offs are going to be... They can't stop anything. It's a high school defense.
I'm hoping, based on my bets here, I'm hoping Drake May throws for about 430 yards in the game. I hope that's the approach because I have him most passing yards at 16-1 and to be the MVP. But this also ties into, to me, Week 12 is it's a monumental week in Survivor. And a lot of that has to do with Baltimore. Because Baltimore has the Jets this week. And you can figure they're laying, obviously, a huge number here. Well, what's beyond that? It's Thanksgiving night, they take on Cincinnati. And is Joe Burrow going to come back and play? The thought was that, with that news when it broke, what was it, last week now? That Burrow could be there on Thanksgiving night. And if we get news at some point this week or a week from today that Burrow is going to be ready to play in that game, I think that's going to throw everybody off the scent with Baltimore. Because Thursday here at Circa being its own separate week along with Black Friday, I think that will pivot here. The people who were thinking about using Baltimore will then say, I can't go against Joe Burrow. I got to be on Philadelphia.
You think so?
I think that's what's going to happen.
Even with it, does it matter? Whether it's the worst defense I've ever seen. I asked the guys at the Westgate, the Black Friday game, they make the Eagles 7 against the Bears.
Is that how should I phrase this? Is that losable for Philadelphia, or should I say, is that a winnable game in your opinion for Chicago?
The luck's going to run out. You can't. This is not sustainable. In the 7 wins, their last 7 wins, they're plus 20 in the turnover margin.
Oh,
come on.
God.
22 takeaways.
I didn't realize it was that high.
Plus 16 in the turnover battle. Defense did a better job, but I think it was more of McCarthy.
It is. He can't play a lick.
The drops. No. So
the Minnesota screwed this up.
The Bears aren't going to move the ball. But you'd think Philly should be able to do something offensively.
Yeah.
Boy.
That's what I would think.
But also, I'm concerned. The Ravens are winning, but what's going on with Lamar Jackson?
I don't know.
No, they handed him 13 points on a platter.
Sure they did.
It was asinine. The pick six, the drop, he goes up in the air. Hey, it's 30-mile-an-hour winds. Let me try to dive and fair catch the punt at the 10-yard line.
What was that?
What could go wrong?
What are you doing?
Come on. Yeah, you had that. There was another turnover. Anyways, they handed him 13 points. The defense did a great job, though. But they get too many weapons to play. This is back-to-back weeks now. Lamar struggled. The tush push was unbelievable. The creativity was awesome.
Great,
what they did with Andrews.
Great spin, no pun intended, they put on that play. But also, it's 2025. It feels like we've been saying this now for, I can't even think of how many years in a row. Based on, if they had any quarterback play whatsoever, any quarterback play.
God, Garrett's so good.
He's going to set the all-time record of sacks. He's got 15 already.
Yeah.
He might get...
Well, they did it to themselves.
Yeah, they did. Over and over and over
again.
You
let Baker walk, can't get a quarterback. You didn't want... The owner talked you into drafting Sanders. He wasn't ever getting first-team reps. So you know it was going to look like that? No time to pass. They just blitzed every play. They had nothing. They couldn't do anything offensively.
It doesn't matter how good Stefanski is as a coach, and he's good because he won 2 Coach of the Year awards. How do you possibly game plan for that?
Yeah, and the whole Watson debacle, that was the other one. It's just, yeah, you're right. This could have been a playoff team. That defense is so good.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And that guy is a heat-seeking missile every single time the opposing quarterback drops back to pass. He's unguardable.
The soup is so damn big. Like a superhero movie character coming at you.
We will get into Week 12 numbers, more of them coming up next. Some big moves based, and the numbers, by the way, keep on moving, but based on yesterday's results, especially when you compare them to last week's openers.